Everybody. This is the She's the Owner podcast. I'm your host, Kara McCarran, and this episode is a bit rogue, but it's something that I feel super important to bring up. And so the episode is called Patience. So my daughter Sydney and I were having a chat yesterday on the way back from driving to take my car in. If you have followed the car saga, it is a saga. It has been ongoing for 2 months now, I think. Um, it's just a fucking gong show, to be honest. And I'm really surprised to like when I think about all jokes aside, when I talk about this car, it's a Mercedes, it's a 2016 Mercedes that has a known design flaw that unbeknownst to me is not uncommon in these cars. Obviously, had I known, I would not have purchased it. But anyway, I did. And I love my car. I love driving my car. I love how it makes me feel. I'm super proud of getting it because it was a huge, like an accomplishment to be able to get that car. So I'm really excited about it. And today it actually is being officially diagnosed by apparently the best people in the business for luxury cars. And I went there and it actually is really impressive. His shop, his name is Vlad. And if he does a good job, I will give him a plug. No problemo. And he's Ukrainian, so that we have in common as well, which is kind of cool. But anyway, it's interesting to me because there's these people that are calling themselves experts in their field, and they're not, because so far a bunch of people have looked at it and said kind of similar things, but nobody's been really confident in the just saying this is what's wrong with it, this is what it needs, let's move forward. Anywho, so on that drive back, Sydney and I were talking about patience and just how the coaching industry in particular, and this is going to be a coaching industry conversation. And I have had some rants in the past. I think it was at the end of the year last year. And one of my coach who I was working with came and asked me basically, WTF, Kara, what's going on? Why are you so vocal about this? And so what am I vocal about? I'm vocal about not him. He's an amazing guy. I love him to death. He's great. But what I'm vocal about is this narrative that we have in the coaching industry, whereby it's talking about business ownership in this really bullshitty way. And I don't know who needs to hear this. Everybody always says that phrase, I don't know who needs to hear this, but I don't know who needs to hear this, but what I'm about to say. But being a business owner is great. It's amazing. It is one of the coolest things ever. However, that shit takes fucking time. Lots of time. And sorry, I'm just cleaning my glasses if you're watching this. What I've noticed is that most of the time, or at least the coaches I've seen, are making these outlandish promises about how you can build your business and do this, that, and the other in 3 months, 90 days, 12 weeks, however you want to word it. There we go. And it's complete bullshit. And why do I say that? Because I've done it. I have built a multiple six-figure company. Didn't do it in 3 months, didn't do it in 2 months, 6 months, 10 months. Took us solid 2-3 years before we were profitable. I've built companies that have done nothing. I have built companies that have done jack shit, and I'm building a company now that will do 6 plus 7 figures down the road. What my problem is with this whole coaching space is that, and this is what we talked about, we did record a lot of it, and I don't know if maybe Sydney produces my podcast, so she may feel like she wants to cut it up and put some of the conversation into this podcast, which I think would be kind of cool. That's above my head, so if she wants to do that, I'll maybe that's how this will turn out. But what bothers me is like this narrative that not coaching, but that business. So you're finding these business coaches who have taken a program, who have started their own little business, and then they go and try to teach others how to start a business. Or, that's it. That's kind of the model right now. And, a lot of people get their up in arms about multi-level marketing. Well, multi-level marketing used to be totally scammy. It used to be the, quote unquote pyramid scheme where everybody, it was just a recruiting game. And that's how you made money, was recruiting and not actually selling the product as often, whatever. It kind of feels like the coaching space is turning to the old school um, MLM. Like, obviously not the same model, but why do I think it's similar? It's because, so here you have a coach, let's say she or he in whatever area is making whatever, $2,000 a month. They join a program that teaches them how to make 5 figures a month. Okay, follow with me, track with me here. They join the program. They learn all the ways to market their coaching business. They go out and they get new clients to teach those clients how to market their business. Then they're making 10 grand or 5 figures a month because they brought you in to teach you how to do 10 figures. And it's like, there's no actual, like, there's value, but the only way they built it to the 5 figures was by saying, I already can teach you how to do that. Come in here and I'll teach you, instead of actually building a business themselves to 5 figures. Do you feel me? And I did that. I did that in the beginning. I sold 90-day packages where I was going to teach you how to build a 6-figure business in 90 days. Blah, blah, blah. Here was the holes. And this is why it lasted for like maybe the first 2 quarters of my year, because I saw through my own bullshit. And the people that I worked with, did they get value out of the program? 1000%. It's the same program I sell now. What's different is I will never say 90 days ever again in my life. Like, never will those fucking words come out of my mouth, because it's total bullshit. The only way it will work, the only way that model would work, let's say for coaches, is if you've already been a coach for 2 or 3 years and you're struggling to get to the next echelon, but you have built your business for a couple of years, then you're like, okay, cool. I've made some money. Like, maybe you're doing 5 or 6 grand and you want to like up the ante. That, in that model, that could work if you aren't doing all the stuff. And so the typical way to look at it is, if the client, i.e. the coach, right, or the business owner, if they're brand spanking new, any of the coaches that I speak to, if I ever hear them say to them, they can build, or I mean, I'm not going to get into other people's shit. That's not, there's my business, there's God's business, and there's your business. I'm not getting into your business. I'm just letting you know, give yourself a bit of an integrity shake, because if you're selling people on how to build a business and they've never had a business, or they've had a different business, or they are new to business, like, if it's not an established business model and you're there telling them that you can help them get from A to B, but that's how you're building your business to be able to say, like, if those clients didn't come to you, you wouldn't have a 5-figure company, monthly 5-figure a month of business. Like, that's the reality. If you didn't, and I'm going to say it like this, excuse me, because I don't know any other word to use, but if you trick people into thinking you know how to do this, it feels incestuous. Like, it feels incestuous. I'm going to build it's like you're taking money out of the bank before you've earned the money, right? Like, you don't know how to build the business unless you're building it on teaching people how to build the business. Like, it's what, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's really, really frustrating, but it feels very incestuous. Now, if you've built your business by doing one-on-one coaching, or you've built your business, having different mastermind groups, whatever, and you have a semblance of success and you're trying to go up higher than that, that's a completely different fucking conversation. I'm talking to the coaches who sell the coaching programs to the newbies with this idea that they can get their business to X, Y, and Z by certain timeframes. It's just not possible. And I would argue, even like, if and this is something, so the way that my narrative has changed and what I sell, I'm selling mastermind groups now. I'm not selling group programs. I might sell a group program at some point because I do love it. But there's going to be, you have to apply, and I have to know that you as a business owner know your shit. Because if you don't know your shit, I'm not here to teach it to you from square one. I'm teaching it from like square 2 and 3. But like new business owners go into these programs and you see this all the time, right? Like you see women who have bought package after package, group coaching after group coaching, gone to event after event, and they're still fucking twiddling their thumbs at the end of it. They've spent 50, 60, 100K on their education, and they don't have two fucking nickels to rub together from their business. Why? Because we're still not talking about the why things don't work. How many times have I said it, ladies? There is no shortage of tools available to us on how to run a business, how to grow a business, how to scale a business. Like there's literally, there's so many books, there's so many events, there's so like free stuff. There's so many opportunities. There's no need for more, right? Like I give you tools in my program because that's what I do. But I certainly don't say, here's the tools, you're on your own, fuck you, bye, and good luck to you. It's like, why is she not picking up the tool to create content? Why is she not picking up the tool to go and do, start conversations and Messenger? Why is she not picking up the tool to build the website? Why is she not picking up the tool to blah, blah, blah? The tools are there. But a coach should be looking under the hood. Like, why are you not doing all the shit that you know you should be doing? That's the real part that needs coaching. We don't need more coaches who are like, I will give you all the, like, I'm so rattled by it because like, ladies, I've been in marketing for 25 years. Okay. One form or another. I started my career in selling advertising in association magazines. You learn a lot about advertising in that space. You learn a lot about print. You learn a lot about ad space, sales, like everything, right? That's where my education really began, was there. And like, I can tell you, I've been in digital. I've done it all in marketing. There's no secrets anymore. Anybody can do it. Anybody can do it if they have a propensity to enjoy it, because you have to enjoy it or it's definitely not sustainable. But like, there's no shortage of ways to build the business. There is a shortage. Like if somebody says to me, I can get you to 6 figures in 3 months, me as Love Soldier, as Kara McCarran, that would work for me. I've been in this business for 2 years, but here's what I know. I have been building content for 2 fucking years. I've been doing this podcast. It's in its 3rd year in August. August will be 3 years. I have built my content. I have created blog posts. I have done a website. My website has deep link authority. Now I'm starting to do advertising, because now if I'm doing ads, I'm sending them to a brand. I have an established voice. I'm an authority in my space around my brand, but it took me 2+ years to do that. And I know what I'm doing. Imagine if you didn't know what you were doing. Imagine if you were totally green. Let's say you were a nurse and then tomorrow you're like, I'm going to be a coach and I'm going to make my, like, imagine you were a teacher for the last 10, 15 years and you've decided you wanted to start your own coaching practice. You know less than zero. You know negative about marketing. And this idea that we can get businesses. Now, you can build, this is what I would say. You can build foundation in 90 days. You can build the foundation of your business. Okay. But you're not going to flip a switch and all of a sudden there's, and you might be sitting and go, well, nobody actually believes that you're going to, yes, they fucking do. Why? How do I know that? Because they'll do that program and then they'll go do another program because that program didn't deliver the $100,000 a year. And then they'll go do another program because then, well, it's not the program. It's the promise of a lot of these coaches and a lot of these programs. And it's the get, like back to the title of the podcast, it's patience. None of you have patience. Not none of you, but the ones who don't, you know who I'm talking to. It's a patience game. Nobody built a business in under a year that's profitable. Barely anybody. Maybe there's some fucking unicorns out there, whatever. But real business, sustainable business, profitable business is not built in 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, or even a year. It just isn't. And if you're finding ones that are, okay, cool. There's some beginner luck, maybe, whatever, but like sustainable. It takes time. Jessie Lee, who is somebody that I talk about often on this podcast, she's been in her business for like 11 years. And everyone's like, oh, because she just started really going hard at social media in the last few years. So people have this idea that it was like overnight success, all this bullshit, blah, blah, blah. It's not. She's been hustling forever. Yeah, she makes 200 fucking grand a month or whatever. I don't even know what number she makes. She makes an insane amount of money. It's amazing. But like, guys, you think that happens in a year? It doesn't. And I always say this, like, and I think part of the problem is like when you're a new coach or you're a coach that doesn't have experience in your area or in business, you just see what everyone else want. Like you pick and choose what you're seeing, right? Your reticular activating system is like looking at the Tony Robbinses of the world and looking at the, other coaches that are making a fuck ton of money. They have been in their business forever. I've been in my business forever, and I'm in this business. My other business is fine. I'm out of it now. It's paying me. I'm happy, whatever. But like this business, it's still like I made a bunch of money in my first year, and then I swapped things and I shifted things, and now I'm on the right trajectory and I'll do well this year. But like it takes that time to figure out exactly what you're doing. It takes time to figure out what's working, what's not. It takes time to heal. It takes time you have to have the patience to heal your money trauma. You have to have the patience to heal your deservedness trauma. You have to have the patience to heal your inner child, your shadow work. All that stuff has to happen before the business really can take off. And that might not be true for men, but it's sure as fuck true for us. We're emotional creatures. We are emotionally connected to our businesses, no matter what you say or how you want to position that. Anyone who's disagreeing with that, if you're being honest, you're emotionally connected to. I'm emotionally connected to every one of my clients. I have to do really deep work to make sure that I'm protected from, thinking about them constantly, because there's some of them that are struggling and I feel sick about it. And they're struggling because this is what they have to go through, and they have to go through the mud to get to the other side. And that feels sad for me because I know what it feels like. But it's an emotional game. Make no mistake, coaching is emotional. Women run companies. That's what makes us so incredible. That's what makes us feminine, divine goddesses, is our emotion. So thinking that you can just go in like a man, run your company, make it all this money and da 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 da, like, doesn't work that way. We need to have clarity. We need to have space. We need to clear out a lot of the junk. And that, my friends, takes time. You've got to have patience. But beyond that, like, if you think about, and I talk about this frequently, but if you think about like how many options there were once upon a time, you think about Madison Square or Madison Avenue, sorry, New York, like the whole ad world, Mad Men, the works, right? Like the options were vastly different than they are now. Now we have social media. Can it move quicker than it used to? Can you build a brand a lot faster? 1,000%. But it's like, if you're new to it, you're fishing around in the dark. You don't fully know where to go. And so you take the course and you think, okay, in 3 months, it's going to be it still isn't going to be perfect. Like I am a social media, I'm very well versed in social media. I'm well versed in algorithms. I was a Google certified specialist at one point. Like, it still takes time. You've got to have patience. And I always say this, if you're not willing to carve out 5 years for your company, don't bother starting. Literally, don't. If you think, now, will you be profitable before 5 years? Of course you will be. I mean, not every business, but most businesses, yeah. But you have to carve out in your mind, if I can't commit 5 years of crushing it and putting in tons of hours and working my ass off to build something, then don't even start. That might sound harsh, but I'm telling you, don't even bother, because maybe you're not even 5 years, call it 3 years. If you can't commit 3 solid years to your business where it's like, I don't care if I make a profit, I'm in building mode, then don't even start, because you will get frustrated. You'll get frustrated and you want to quit. And then you just did it all for nothing. Like I'm in it for the long haul. I'm in this no matter what, no matter what. I'm going to have an event in 2023 with 1,000 women. No matter what. Like it is non-negotiable. That is fucking happening. Do you hear the certainty in my voice? And if I didn't have that certainty and I didn't have that commitment and that level of commitment and level of drive, I wouldn't even bother. I'd just go get a job right now. Like it took us 8 years to build the content company to a place where it's profitable, sustainable. Now I'm not in it. Ken can run it himself and he can scale it or not or whatever. But like now, it didn't take us 8 years to become profitable. It took us a couple of years to be profitable. But if we weren't like, you have to have patience. There's no other way around it. So that's my rant for the day. And I hope it lands for you. And I hope like, if you are somebody who's like, bring it, girl. I don't give a shit. Patience. I got patience. I got the stamina. Fucking do it. Do it. I'm excited for you. I will help you. Come and join the mastermind group. Get all the support you could possibly need. But like, if 3 to 5 years really freaks you out, I'm telling you, I've done it. I'm telling you, I've got tons of entrepreneurial friends. They will all tell you the same thing. If you don't have it in you to suck up the next 3 to 5 years for your business, don't even bother. That's it. But if you are ready to do that, bring it, girlfriend. I'm here for it. I love you all, and I'll talk to you on the next one. Bye.